What is going on, Notre Dame fans? Mike Singer and Tim Hyde back on the Blue and Gold YouTube channel. We missed last week. Tim had a house full of sick children
Yes.
and a wife feeling under the weather, so we canceled last week. And Tim, whenever we miss a week like that, I'm going to be honest, Tim, I miss you. We go 2 weeks. I'm like, I miss talking to my friend. How are you doing, Tim?
Should have taken a month off then. We would have been all right. But no, it's like, yeah, even today, like show tonight. I'm like, are you doing a show? Are you ready? Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
Sometimes a week feels like a month, but
Yeah.
no, exciting as could be, man. You got, just so much going on. So much in Notre Dame is going on, except for quarterback recruiting. So as I told you, I want to talk quarterback recruiting, and you're like, talk about who? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. They haven't offered a damn soul yet. So we'll wait on that. Hopefully by October, we'll get like 1 or 2 offers out and we can talk about them. But because that's always exciting. You and I have spent, 3 or 4 straight off seasons talking about this guy, these offers, all this. It's boring right now. It's like, come on. I know
Quarterback recruiting?
for quarterback. And, it's like they're being too patient. They're acting like they got 6 straight, NFL draft picks. It's like, come on, man. Bring in 5 guys, figure out who the hell could play.
We'll get there.
It's all good.
Real quick, I tweeted the other day. Peter Schrager once said, Peter Schrager's like the NFL reporter, if you don't promote yourself, no one else will. If you don't give yourself a pat on the back and hype yourself up, no one's going to do it for you. The Blue and Gold staff, myself and Kyle Kelly, have been absolutely dominating the recruiting coverage and the Notre Dame beat. It's no disrespect to anyone. I feel like it's just kind of night and day right now. So you just like scroll the Twitter here. Just quarterback recruiting specifically. We're not going to dive into it today. It's not on the topic list, but they got some big time 2028 quarterbacks coming in town next weekend. 2028 already, dude. Gino saw a bunch of 2027 quarterbacks, but he saw some 2028s big time in California and Florida. Israel Abrams is a top 100 overall player, quarterback from Chicagoland. He's in the 27 class. I'm confirming with him that he's going to be visiting next week. Just keep scrolling. Malachi Ziegler is a 6'3", 195-pound athletic quarterback, so he like gives you some like Riley Leonard vibes, like that size and how athletic he is. He's from Benton, Louisiana.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a Louisiana kid. Yeah.
And then,
I need to click on a couple updated articles because I didn't know they're already doing 28 recruiting.
Yeah, so they're looking, and this time last year they had some 27s on campus, but for that camp, like Peter Bork and Trey Taylor, and so I do think they're finally going to send out some class of 2027 offers soon.
Hopefully those envelopes open for the recruits so they could read them, right? So
yeah,
it just feels like it's taking forever.
I get it, but look, it's an article I'm planning on writing soon. Is this the right move? Being patient like this, I don't know. We'll see. Depends on who they get, and then it ultimately depends on how good they are in college. It's hard to judge right now, but there's a lot of guys, and so I brought up the little Peter Schrager thing. By the way, he responded.
Look at Mike going big.
Hold on. No, this was weird.
The Schrag.
I didn't tag him. He responds, "Do your thing." 2 hours after I posted mine, so I was like, "Does he search his name on Twitter? He wants to know what people are saying about him. That's what he must be doing."
Yeah, he must. The ego's working when you're. He's ESPN now, right?
Yeah, he moved from
NFL. Schrager guy, but I saw he moved up. So, but I got you.
So, yeah, because we've been crushing the 2027 quarterback recruiting. I'm all in. I wrote a gold standard article on Monday about here's the names to know right now that I think that Gaduli and Denbrock are picking from. So you can find that at blueandgold.com. Tim, did you see the deluxe edition cover of EA Sports College Football 26?
Yes. I mean, I kind of like it. It reminds, obviously, it's like the Sports Illustrated. What the hell is this? I have not seen this.
What? This is the cover.
What? Here I am getting ready to talk about it. I saw the. I've been off Twitter, which is for a few days. Which, by the way, is one of the top 3 things to do in America. Just get off that damn thing for a while, and then jump in. But here we are. Stinger. First off, is that like a medium shirt? That looks really tight around your neck. So we got to really fix on that. That looks like one of those like Mark with glasses. He made me look like I was 5'4" in the video game last year. So I'm like, okay, thanks, buddy. I'm like 5'4", 112 pounds. But I like how you made it. I guess I've yet to see this one, Mike. So this is my first time seeing.
This is the official one. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who the handsome guy is on the left, but
whoever made that, high five. That's classic.
Yeah, but I mean, you see, Jay Love's nice in front and center.
Dude, get
Freeman's
the real one.
right
I
there.
can't sit here and look at you in this thing.
Too bad. This is the real one, Tim. I'm on there holding the Taco Bell bag. This is just what it is.
Can you imagine?
Reggie Bush is there in the real one. But do you really want to see Reggie Bush? Or is Mike Singer okay holding the Taco Bell bag?
I saw plenty of Reggie against Notre Dame for the 3 years, so I'm cool.
Yeah. Yes, no Steve Angeli on this one.
No, he didn't make it for Syracuse, huh? That's too bad. That's surprising. No, but it's always cool to see what they have. I know they got some of the old guys in there that have been on the cover in the past, and it's always cool to see what the current guys are. It's awesome. I remember when EA or somebody posted, because everyone had thought they would do the same 3 as last year, right? Who are the 3 on the cover? I mean, instantly I thought it was going to be Arch, Jeremiah Love. I had Jeremiah Love in there just because of the name brand Notre Dame, and definitely Jeremiah Smith. Arch, obviously, Texas backed out. They didn't want to be a part of that, which is weird. But obviously, they went with Ryan Williams, who is it's not fair. I'll be honest with you, Mike. As the Notre Dame fan, I saw all these pictures with Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith. I'm like, can Notre Dame just get one, like a quarter of those? Just a quarter of one of those players, please. Just a pinch, a pinch, because. I know it's a video game. I saw some clips or pictures, and I'm like, God, it's just not fair. It's just not fair. But here we go. Yeah, it's my dynasty. What are we doing this year?
I'm debating if I want to do it. Does the game come out in July? Does anyone know when the game comes out? You want to run Syracuse?
Hey, I know you've been bugging me for a while. So Tim Hyde dynasty. So hold on. Oh, the light's too big. So are we gonna go? Am I going to be coaching Angeli in the orange? Are you going to seriously, Mike? Angeli and I won the title last year for you, so you need to make sure you get Steve in the orange with Hyde. Hopefully, Mark with glasses makes me over 150 pounds in the video, so a little bit.
Can you show me it again?
Yeah, it's right here. It's right here. Literally, I told you it was down in my basement office. You didn't think I had it. I hadn't been down there, and I kept here. The glare is really bad, but there you go.
Steve, you got to work on Steve's got to work on his signature.
That's okay. That's all right. He's looking good. He's looking good. And we should start a blue and gold prop bet. Are we going 5.5 sacks over under when Syracuse comes to play Notre Dame? 5.5. The betting line. Jay Carr and all these guys in the chat. You got to start a betting line. So 5.5. Notre Dame going to get him over under. That's my starting point. But we'll worry about that down the road, Mike. But anyway, let's dive in, man. We got some cool stuff to talk about. Exciting things, Notre Dame, playoff, college, blah, 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 right? Let's get after it.
And let's remind folks to hit the thumbs up on this video and subscribe to the Blue and Gold YouTube channel for more content. So this was the big news that dropped last Tuesday, the day before the show. I was totally amped to get into this with Tim. Tim has just been Twitter trolling like no one else's business, responding to everybody. And headline here, Notre Dame football rivalry with USC in jeopardy per Sports Illustrated report. Pat Forty of Sports Illustrated said, or he asked Pete Bevecqua last Monday if there's interest from the Irish in continuing the series with the Trojans past this year, which is the last the two sides have an agreement for. The answer is a resounding yes. And Bevecqua went on to say, I think Southern Cal Notre Dame should play every year, but USC seems to not be sure. And you can kind of see both sides of this, Tim. From like a USC standpoint, why do I want to play another, essentially a conference game, go to the Midwest every other year and get my teeth kicked in by Notre Dame? I'd rather play Fresno State or something, UNLV. But from everyone else's point of view, dude, you don't cancel Notre Dame USC. You freaking kidding me, Tim? What's your take on all this?
Man, God, yeah, it's like, where do you start? It's still like, hopefully it doesn't happen. I mean, just it's the hit. You hear about rivalries. People will be like, "Well, Bedlam's not being played." All right, great. A couple 100,000 people that watch Bedlam on TV. Great. Notre Dame, USC. It's like, I mean, they've been playing 100 years, 95 games. It's interesting. One of the national podcast guys, it could have been Andy Staples, was like, the only thing that's interrupted this thing is a world war and a pandemic. It's like, that's it. Other than that, they play. And it stinks because you read between the lines and this is happening. Why is it happening? Notre Dame comes out with a 12-game series with Clemson. We're starting to do some scheduling things. What happens? 5 days later? Oh, the Pat Forty story comes out. So these are all coming together. And if it's true, it stinks. It really does. I know we could sit here, and it's true. I'm one of those guys. I do like to look at both sides of the issues. I've always done that. I like to put myself in the other people's shoes and see what it is. And you can see it with SC. So it's a gut, kick in the gut if it really happens for us fans and even the SC fans. I told you I have more SC fans. I mean, obviously I grew up in California. I got SC fans all over the place. I got great friends that went to SC. I got a bunch of my team moms over the years where I was head coach, SC parents, you name it. I've been to 100 games in the Coliseum, been to a bunch of Notre Dame games there. They don't want this thing to end. And you go on the SC Twitter and they're just like the true fans. I'm not talking about some of these Twitter clowns that are out there posting stuff. Like true SC alums, fans are like, what the hell are you doing? So it's like, there's no way. And I get the conference talk. But at the same time, I'm like, well, you played in the Pac freaking 10, the Pac 12 for 100 years, and you played Notre Dame then. They played in the Pac 12 went to 9 conference games in 2010, and they still played Notre Dame.
Let me interrupt you.
But at the same time, just real quick off that. Yes, it's different because it's obviously the West Coast. Your farthest travel game is Salt Lake City. It's a lot different than going to Rutgers and Iowa and then Notre Dame in the same year. I get that, but I'm just talking about the competition, the competitive games, the Power 4 games, 5, whatever we call it. SC's always played more than everyone else. All you have to do is go back in the old schedules and you see it. There's years USC's playing 11 out of 12 games against Power 5 teams. SC's just always done that. I mean, heck, just a couple years in 2016, for example, they played their 9 Pac-12, Notre Dame and Alabama. So for them to drop down a level, the on 3 USC, which is Mark Colkin and some of the guys, huge SC fans, they did an amazing podcast. I got to just tweet that thing. I got to just message Mark because I think they did a great job. They're all SC alums, and they were just like livid with what they're doing. And these are obviously some of their media guys. But go ahead, jump in. I got more thoughts.
Okay. We're going to talk about the college football playoff expansion in a bit. And Tim, the headline of this is "Sounds Off." So I need you to really just start yelling. I put it in all caps too, so you got to live up to the headline that you didn't write. But if this thing does go to 16, then USC, you can have 3 losses and still get in. Like I feel like a good road loss to Notre Dame is probably better on your resume than beating Fresno State. Maybe it's a
well, that's going back to the competition thing. USC, every single time USC's won a national title in their history, they beat Notre Dame. So how has Notre Dame hindered them? It's called the team. It's called having an ass-kicking team that goes out there and competes. So it's not that schedules don't win you titles. Teams win you titles. Great football teams, recruiting, building, all of those things that come with a football team. That's what wins you the damn thing, is having great football players. Pete Carroll went on he won 8 in a row. 6 out of those 8 games, Mike, were 30-plus points or more wins. They annihilated Notre Dame. It was scrimmages. It was so bad. I mean, one year with Weiss, where they lose 38-0, I don't think they had 100 yards of offense. Okay? It was a scrimmage. It was a light sweat for them in the Coliseum in what was that, 2008 game. So it's a game. And that's the other thing. No, I keep seeing, oh, USC soft. It's a series of runs. You could say whatever you want. Notre Dame fans, to me, I think are a little overkill. Oh, SC soft. No, because they're going to have their time again. They always do. For as great as Ara Parseghian and Dan Devine were, they went 4-10-3 against SC. That was like one of the greatest Notre Dame runs in the history of college football, and they couldn't beat SC. Then Holtz and Faust won their 13 in a row. Then SC wins 3 in a row. Notre Dame wins 3 in a row. SC wins 8 in a row. And then since Brian Kelly took over and DeMarcus Freeman, Notre Dame's won 10 out of 4. But SC, I mean, hey, they've been a train wreck. What, Brian Kelly beat SC with 3 interim coaches, recruiting scandals. They haven't really, it feels like, adjusted since then, since they really went to the Pac-12. That's the other thing with USC is they've only won 1 title. They won the 17 title, correct? 17 title. Notre Dame killed them that year with Sam Darnold, but they went on to win it. They've only won 1 conference title since Pete Carroll left. So it's become an Oregon, Washington, Utah, Pac-12. SC only had that one team. So
it's not like the Pac-12 was amazing during that stretch either. Like Oregon had some good years, Washington had some good years, but
I'm a West Coast homer, and I've always the 4-team playoff killed the Pac because they had some team. There were some Stanford teams that went 10-2 that knocked the hell out of you had they had a bigger tournament. They didn't have that back then. Some of those Harbaugh teams would be like, yeah, we're going to run power at you. Stop it. And they probably would have had really good playoff runs, some of those. So, because that was the thing, their competition, they were the first conference to go to 9 conference games. They beat the hell out of each other. They were a true 7-2 type of a conference, and they knocked out some teams over the years. So, and you're right to your point on the 16-team playoff is these games are almost like just play them for the fans, play them for the TV. How do the conference commissioners and the president say you're playing these because the TV ratings are going to be unbelievable? And like you're saying, 9-3, you're in. Alabama is in at 9-3 last year. South Carolina is in at 9-3.
That's 16.
Oh, exactly. And that's what it's going to. It's going to 16. There are going to be 4 or 5 teams making the tournament with, 3 losses. I don't ever expect a 4-loss team unless they just, unless it's Notre Dame 2029 and they play that schedule. It's like, holy moly, I hope they adapt, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that in spring of 29. But there's going to be 3-loss teams. All right. Yep. There just are. I've gone all the way back to 2010 when Kelly took over because I like to get rid of the other years, the 97 to 09 out of my head and start Notre Dame football after that. Notre Dame's in this thing a ton in the 16 field, a bunch. And there's a lot of 3-loss, SEC Big Ten teams in there. So it's going to happen. So for SC to back out, it sucks. It really does, Mike. I've been, real quick, I think I told you, I've been to my first game ever to see Notre Dame SC in the Coliseum was 86. That was my very first one as Lou Holtz's comeback win. They were down. Tim Brown, Skip Holtz blocks the punt. They go down and win the game. They win that 38-37. I've only been to one, and I remember it like it was, today at noon. I was at the 95 game when they beat number 5 SC and Keyshawn Johnson. I just got out of the Marines. Went back there because I had an uncle who worked on campus for many, many moons in South Bend and got tickets to that. I was there for 95. Still see the picture of, guys who remember that game. Everyone on the sideline is wearing those red Cardinal jackets because the game was like 30 degrees, Mike. It was freezing. I drank a lot of hot chocolate that day and a little sarsaparilla in the middle. So, and I've been to 10 other games, in the Coliseum over the years. So it sucks.
I want to say this about Notre Dame USC. Tim, we've gotten into some spirited debates about the Notre Dame USC rivalry over the years. And my knock on it had been, there's been the tradition is incredible. But I always felt like, just in my time covering the team and just being a college football fan for, 20 years, I never really felt like Notre Dame and USC fans hated each other compared to the Red River rivalry, or like, some of like Florida State, Miami, like some of those rivalry, like the more regional rivalries. But I will say this about the Notre Dame USC rivalry now. It has been awesome seeing the fan bases get after each other.
Oh, it's great.
That sense is now gone for me. Like the rivalry on social media between this fan bases, like I find this is the first time I feel like I've really seen it to that level, like in Ohio State, Michigan, or maybe not that level. I don't know, but like when you think of elite college football rivalries, like those fan bases hate each other. This is the first time I really saw it with Notre Dame and USC. This is the past month, and I think it's been awesome.
And that's what I'm saying. It's a game of runs. You have all these, SC wins this many, Notre Dame wins it. It's gone back and forth forever. And you go back. I mean, Notre Dame was, after Frank Leahy, retired, they were down for a decade. It was horrible football, really bad football until Era took over. So just when you go from Era to now, so you go from 64 to 2024, Mike, it is 29 Notre Dame, 28 USC, and I believe 3 ties. This game has been back and forth when you look at the whole stretch of it because of the large runs that victory in a row that is happening here. And it's an iconic game. It's legend.
Yeah.
It's just legendary. More Heismans in this game, more titles. There's a stretch where like either Notre Dame, USC is like 1 or 2 during that, John McKay and Ara Parseghian era is just epic. Those games back then, the All-Americans, consensus All-American, first-round picks, you name it. And it matters even when and that's the thing, when USC's down as they were last year, right? They were last year. They're playing a rookie quarterback who's played 2 games in his career, and he's a play away from tying up with Notre Dame, who's going to the damn championship game, and SC is a play away until Christian Gray obviously takes that pick 6. 1 more inch over the top, touchdown, that thing's tied. Notre Dame could fold. SC's got all the momentum. Same thing in 18. Same thing in 12, Notre Dame with the goal line stand. 18, they were horrible, and Notre Dame gutted out, 24-17 win. They scored right at the end to make it look closer than it was, but they always play tough. The same thing with Notre Dame when SC comes to town over the years in South Bend. So it really stinks. I think it is going to happen because of the buzz that's out there. I don't
You think they're going to keep it?
No, I think
it's going away?
My gut tells me it is going to go away unless Notre Dame, says to play in September, which I'm one of those guys. I know, we could spend a minute on this real quick. It's like, yes, it's always been, it's been since the late 50s. South Bend has been October, SC's been at the end of the year. It's the way it is. Before that, they played the last game of the year, whether it was LA or South Bend, forever until they made that switch. So
is September a good compromise?
Man, it's
like first game of the year or something.
Yeah, that was always the Michigan, right? The Michigan Notre Dame model for years was either game 1 or 2. So do you have a compromise and do something like that? I just say, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the fan in me. Let's play. If you don't want to make it game 1, then do it what Notre Dame's doing this year. Have a great marquee road matchup. Notre Dame's become the road warriors, obviously, on Labor Day weekend, right? Florida State, you and I are first game together, Florida State. Every year it's been a road game for them. So is that something Notre Dame likes for TV? They might, be that road underdog, or just when I say underdog, going on the road game 1, whether an underdog or not, I'm just saying on the road, hostile environment. So do you keep that going, come back, have a little buffer game, and then play SC, September 10th every year? I don't know. So, but I think they need to do that because SC needs to see it as well. Because I think everyone's going to play 10 Power 4 games. They're this year. Notre Dame SC is doing 10 this year. So everyone's going to hit that model. Last year there was a bunch playing 11. So I think they're going to hit 10, and it's not going to hurt you. Texas, Ohio State, for crying out loud, is playing this year. That's probably going to be the preseason, 2 of the top 3 teams in the preseason. It's not going to hurt whoever loses. And I think that's going to continue down the road as well. So, but real quick, just to throw a little thing in this is this, the Big Ten, SEC, because the SEC does not want to go to 9 conference games.
Right.
As a Notre Dame fan, I know we could all be SEC soft, play 9 conference games. Notre Dame fans, you don't want that. You want the SEC to have those open weeks for Notre Dame, Alabama to happen.
Yeah. 100%.
Notre Dame, Texas. We want to go to the swamp. But if the SEC goes to 9 games, they play the Big Ten. Is Florida really going to want to play 9 SEC? Are they going to keep their rival with Florida State and Notre Dame one year? That's when you get the leeway. So, hell, I don't care. Keep their 8 games, conference games, and do what they do and keep those weekends open. Because Notre Dame also has Michigan State, Purdue, Michigan coming up, Michigan State coming up, Wisconsin, obviously the end of their 2-year contract next year. So you just keep going, man. But my hot take is don't do it, SC. The fans don't want it. The SC fans don't want it. Keep this thing going, man. It's a magical game when those two get together, because who in the hell is playing from tiny little town in Indiana against the mighty Hollywoodites of Los Angeles, right?
Awesome.
Think about it. Just that whole history right there. Auburn, Alabama's down the street, right? Florida State, you're talking about. All these, Clemson, South Carolina hate each other.
It's unique. It's the most unique rivalry, for sure.
Michigan and Ohio State, all those ones are iconic. Obviously the great Texas-Oklahoma game, but they're right next to each other and they play it. That's a neutral site game. You get 50%, I get 50% of the tickets. SC Notre Dame is cross country, which is awesome. So
yeah, is there any other? I'm trying to think of any other rivalry like it.
No, there's not. There's not. And what kills me as a Notre Dame fan is every single damn Heisman Trophy winner earned it against Notre Dame. You go back, Carson Palmer won it in the 0-2 game because he torched Notre Dame in that defense. That's what clinched it for him. Caleb Williams in 22 clinched it. Reggie Bush was Reggie Bush, but his legendary game against Notre Dame in 05 helped. And Matt Leinart was neck and neck with whoever was 2 and 3 that year, and he goes out and torches Notre Dame in the Coliseum in 04. So, every damn SC guy kicks the hell out of Notre Dame when they win the title. So these things do matter.
All right, folks, let's hear from Augie's locker room. Some new items since we last talked about Augie's 2010 Harrison Smith game used. Jersey, Jimmy Clausen 2009, Ethan Johnson helmet, 2011 season game worn. Come on, folks. What are we doing? What are we doing? Some used team issue Notre Dame football gloves for $20. Where else are you getting this stuff but Augie's Locker Room? So make sure you head to augieslockerroom.com, or if you're local or in town for a couple days, whatever the case is there, make sure you stop in at 1733 North Ironwood Drive in South Bend, just down the street from Notre Dame. Check out the exclusive Joe Montana signed items, famous sculptor Jared McKenna's replicas of the bronze statues around the stadium, and so much more, including one-of-a-kind Rockney items. If Augie doesn't have something in store that you want, just give him a call, 574-277-6363, and he will find it for you. Issued team football gloves and cleats for $30. I don't know exactly what you're going to do with them, but I think that's really freaking cool for $30. We're like, come on. Where does Augie get this stuff?
It's got to be the grad transfers. That's got to be the grad transfers that left it behind. So that's what I'm thinking. Did Angeli leave?
Yeah. So the uncles, he's like, I got to get rid of this. I got to get rid of this crap. Who wants it?
Here you go, Augie. I'm leaving.
Well, here. What about this?
He finds ways to get things.
Do you think this is Captain Mike's?
No, that's
1990s.
That's Reggie Brooks.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff at Augie's.
He gets good stuff.
Check it out, Augie's Locker Room.
What about Rudy's still in there? It's like
it's been in there for a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. The Rudy stuff never dies, does it?
No. I still get recruits talking to me about the movie Rudy. Still.
I love it.
Tim, so let's talk about this college football playoff adopting the straight seeding model. A lot to unpack here. So this is what it would have looked like
What do we got here?
for this past season.
Okay.
Notre Dame would have played Clemson like I really wanted them to play. I really wanted Notre Dame versus like Clemson or Bama in that first round.
Yeah.
So they could just beat that team, that big name program. But hey, they ended up beating 2 of them. So that was pretty cool last season. So it would have been Notre Dame in the 5. So it's a straight seed. Okay. It doesn't do away with auto bids. Your 5 highest ranked champs get in, but it does do away with auto buys for those conference champs. So Notre Dame would have been the 5, and they would have played Clemson, and then it would have been Notre Dame, Penn State in the next round if the Irish would have beat Clemson, and then potentially Notre Dame versus Oregon. So when you look at this, Tim, for like this makes sense. Oregon got a raw deal last year with the winner of Tennessee and Ohio State. That sucked for them, no doubt about it. Whereas, who'd Arizona State get?
Well, they had Texas in that really good.
Yeah, that's not.
No. It was Clemson. Excuse me. Right, it was Clemson. Remember, Texas was the 5-12 game. They had Clemson, and then Texas played Arizona State because ASU had the bye.
Right. So it was the teams that play in the first round would get an easier path than freaking Oregon, who just had an incredible season. So
I know you're undefeated. Hey, go play the Buckeyes. Good luck.
Yeah. So like this rewards Oregon in this scenario, but are all seasons equal? I don't know, Tim. No, so what do you think about the straight seeding here? Do you think this is the right move?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of conference champs getting in. You win your damn conference. It's once again, you just said it. Are they all equal? ACC is different than the Big Ten.
I meant all seasons. Some seasons this will look great. Maybe others it'll still suck. I don't know.
I mean, you see them out. So your conference champs, you're in. Like last year, even for this, Clemson ended the year 16th. They were 16th in the final poll.
Yeah.
So, but you're a conference champ. You won that darn tournament. You get in. It's like the March Madness. There's some years, right? Bubble teams get knocked out because you got Northern Iowa at 17 and 16 upset whoever in their thing knocks them out. So it happens. So Clemson would have went from 16 to 12, and they're the true ones that knocked out Alabama. When you really look at it, when you reseed it and you look at it, they're knocking Bama out. So because ASU was 12 and they move up one. So no, it's fun. It's the way it should be. It's and real quick off of this, put it back up because it's easy to go back. Have they had this straight model? Do they still keep, which maybe they do they still keep the conference champ losers, which was Penn State and Texas in this instance? Obviously Notre Dame at 11-1, could they have jumped into gotten that bye? I personally don't think so. I don't think Notre Dame gets a bye unless they're 12-0. That's just my humble opinion. I think at 11-1
with a great loss and some quality wins, they definitely could.
Yeah, I mean, yes, yeah, you could, but at the same time, if you're an 11-2 playing an extra game like Texas and Penn State, do you hinder them? Like Texas lost in overtime, for crying out loud. Sure, Georgia was down. Notre Dame obviously beat them in the Sugar Bowl. It wasn't your quote-unquote typical Georgia team, but they still have 10 guys get drafted, and they got freaks everywhere, and they are the best program this decade. So it's still a damn good competitive loss for Texas when you look at it. So that's going to be interesting this year. If Notre Dame's 11-1, how do those conference title games? Because those damn committees are going to be always pro Big Ten, SEC because they're playing that extra game. So just something to look at. But the rest of it, when you break it down, is it still Georgia's liking this? Because I bet you Georgia will beat Tennessee because they beat Tennessee all the time. They probably would have, they would have played Ohio State, Texas for a third time. Georgia's like, hell, a nice, probably a little bit better run than having to go to Notre Dame. Penn State's out. You know how much I hate Penn State. Notre Dame kicks their butt. Penn State's 0-1 in the 12 weeks. Well, there goes James Franklin's 2 wins against Group of 5. SMU, I know they're ACC. They're still Group of 5. They've only been there 12 months. They haven't hit their quota yet. And then they had Penn State beat Boise. So, yeah, Penn State's. James Franklin's got 2. Well, look at me going on my soapbox on Franklin. James Franklin's got 2 damn wins. He's on the cover of EA Sports, and he hasn't even beaten a power team yet in the playoffs. So,
hey, SMU.
Yeah, not technically, right? Come on, I mean, they just moved in from
their
the
first year
or something. I still don't count it, so that's just me. Didn't they get a paper too? I think they even qualify, if I remember right. But anyway, but it's fun. No 3-loss team, which is probably hard in the 12 team. That's why this thing's going to 16. So those SEC teams that knock the hell out of each other will get in.
All right, we'll get to the 16 team, but for this, let's talk me through this, Tim.
Sure.
It devalues the conference championship game, right? Because winning it doesn't do as much for you. I mean, it does, right? You just get a huge quality win. So essentially it does.
Yeah, I mean, if you win the SEC, you're going to be the 1 or 2 seed.
Yeah.
So,
but for the ACC, Big 12,
well, I mean, those are tickets to get in.
Tickets to get in, but you're not getting the bye that you were. I mean, I don't know.
But that
probably didn't deserve it. They didn't deserve it.
Clemson was the 16. I mean, they didn't get the bye, but once again, they were 16 and got in.
It was Boise and Arizona State.
Yeah, exactly. So, and Boise, how do you give a Group of 5 team? I mean, how do you compare that conference, those records, all of that to the other conferences? It's hard. I mean, we're going to see firsthand when they travel to Notre Dame this year because, their best game last year was really a loss, which was to Oregon. So,
yeah,
they got that bump up.
Yeah, I feel like I just need to spend some more time thinking about this and how I like it. But the whole thing about it, Tim,
it's done.
We got 1 year of this crap. It seems like we're going to 16, and
no, exactly. All the Notre Dame fans, hey, we get a bye. It's like, yeah, for 1 year. So,
which Tim, dude, I feel like I'd rather. This is look. I totally see 2 different schools of thought here. It's probably the right answer is you'd rather have the bye, but I feel like that damn it, Tim, having the 5-12 at home, and so I personally would rather have that and have that home playoff game than miss out on a home playoff game. That's kind of my thought, and I think logically that's wrong, but in my heart, that Indiana game was special, dude.
Yeah, and it's funny you say it because I'm really not overthinking this damn thing because it's only 1 darn year.
Yeah.
So I know Notre Dame's got tons of hype and all that stuff, and we'll see if they can throw and catch before that hype's warranted. They got players everywhere else. We'll see if they can throw and catch.
Yeah.
So to replicate what they did last year, that's a big ask. And Notre Dame fans act like it's just a given. And that's a big ask. You got a guy who started 3 games or 3 years of games, Riley Leonard. What did he go into the season? 23, 24 starts, competitor and athlete, NFL draft pick. It's going to be a different dynamic in 25, but we'll talk more about that as camp gets rolling here down the road. But no, let's enjoy it. I mean, you got to go. To me, this year, this single 1 year, Notre Dame would have to go 12-0 to get that bye because they'll find ways. Because the SEC and Big Ten is. We always, like Bama got so much hype and talk about, but those conferences, those top teams are juggernauts. They're going to be 11-1, just like they were last year. Penn State's schedule, I saw Andrew Gilmore posted something. Penn State's schedule is buttery soft. I'm talking like really good movie butter.
It's crazy how that continues to happen in those conferences.
Oh, it is. But last year they played 10 power games. This year they're only playing their conference. They're playing 3 cupcakes, then they get a bye, then they host Oregon, then their first road trip is to mighty UCLA. Okay, so that's their beginning of their schedule. Penn State, I know people hate when I talk about it. They are going to close their eyes this year and go 11-1. Okay.
You love Penn State, huh?
I don't love their hey. Well, number one, they got a lot of damn good football players. Number two, their schedules is powdery soft. Okay. And they will be 11-1 just showing up this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're going to get in that Big Ten title game a bye. Who they play, we'll see. But the SEC is what it is. But it's fun. It's fun for Notre Dame. It's Notre Dame, and we sit here. People could talk about playoffs and all that. Man, it's all about the first two games, right? If they win those first two games, you seriously, it is right there.
Because if they win those first two games, then they can run and catch, Tim. They can run and catch or throw and catch. So then I think they're winning all of them. I don't think Freeman's letting a Marshall game happen again.
Yeah, they're not going to let Boise come in there and upset them. No, but you're right. I mean, the only roadblock would really be an Arkansas team who's a middle-of-the-road SEC team, and Notre Dame should be able to go in there and handle business with those expectations on how they have played, performed, going back to College Station last year, finishing that year. But you're right. If they're 2-0, then Notre Dame's got a quarterback and wide receiver.
Yeah, they have a quarterback and wide receivers, and is Arkansas going to present a more difficult challenge than on the road at Miami?
No.
It's or any game on schedule. The only thing would be knock on wood, injuries or just complete brain fart collapse like Notre Dame has had. They've had.
You could put $10 down. Freeman's going to have one, which is scary because 3 years is 3 years of trend. He's had one.
Yeah,
break it in year 4. We'll see.
What was the one in 23 then? I know that they had Stanford, Marshall, and NIU, but 23 was just losing to Louisville, Ohio State, and Clemson.
Yeah, the ambush at Louisville.
So maybe not a disaster loss.
Survival at Duke, surviving Duke, who's obviously a good football team, but obviously Clemson.
Anyways,
and then we won't talk about 10 on the field ever again. So, but that's
you just mentioned it. So here's what Andy Staples, he did a 12-team projection just to give you a look of what it could look like. So he's got, I think Staples, his preseason way too early, whatever. He had Notre Dame at number 2, which pretty much everyone's had Notre Dame between 3 and 7 between all of the different national people. Right. So he's got Notre Dame.
This is 5-6 when you add them all up. Yeah, they're right in that little model right there.
So he's got Notre Dame at 3, which Notre Dame at 3, that's an undefeated Notre Dame team, right?
No, he said on his podcast with Ari, I love listening to those two guys. He has Miami winning and then Notre Dame going 11-0
and running the table.
Okay. Running the table, get back in the swing and things. He has them being the 3 seed at 11-1. That's his prediction.
So, he has Miami getting in at the 11. So, a respectable close loss to open the season with a new quarterback and then running the table. That's as close as you're going to get to 12-0 is that scenario. So he has, again, Notre Dame in the 3 seed, beating Bama, and then losing to 7 seed Georgia. And he's got Texas ultimately beating Georgia. So any thoughts on this, Tim?
It's fun. It's the first true, bam, someone's busting out a big old model showing you what it would look like. It's fun when you break this thing down. Now you're starting to get into who's who. Texas is going. Texas has so much hype, but it's also it's warranted with the athletes they got. They're stacked. They just they lost some damn good offensive linemen. Don't get me wrong, from a Joe Moore finalist group. So, but they replenished that O-line, and they got a ball club there. The most interesting team is, I hate to say it, is really Ohio State. Obviously defending champs. They have tons of talent, but they're in the same situation at Notre Dame. They have Julian Sayin, who hasn't taken a snap. Notre Dame's got CJ Carr. The difference is Sayin's throwing to NFL guys. So that's going to be interesting with there. But they lost, obviously, that team last year was so senior heavy for the Buckeyes. But as you know, Mike, you deal with recruiting. Ohio State's top 3 every year in recruiting. So they're just replenish those guys. That's what Ohio State's done for 75 years. It's what they do. So they don't have down years. down years for them, or 10-3. Oh, that's a down year, but it's gonna be interesting. I know Andy has Florida because he just thinks Florida. He mentioned Florida is going to be. It's Florida, LSU, South Carolina, A&M. He thinks that one out of those four is going to be the fourth from that group. He's got obviously Texas, Alabama, and Georgia. So Texas Tech, who the hell knows, right? The Big 12, Mike. Whoever could predict the Big 12 should be the president.
Yeah, I see this, and it's like Texas Tech is this year's Indiana.
Well, my prediction, that's Illinois for me. Illinois quarterback, older team, damn good roster. Schedule's pretty nice. Illinois got Indiana and USC. If they go 2-0 there, they're looking at a 10-2. They're in the playoffs, which is pretty interesting. So it's going to be there's some teams when you look at their schedules, you start to break it down, and it's not too bad. Not too bad. But Notre Dame, you're right, man. You get by those first two, it's right there. I mean, you're looking at it, but you're looking at a bye, right? Which sucks according to you. So,
no, that's not what I said.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. It's like that home game's awesome.
Dude. All right.
It is.
All right. Let's go back to it.
Hey, I'll take 11-1 in the 5 seed. I'm with you.
Oh, wrong tweet. You can't tell me that. I mean, it's JMU, so I mean, whatever.
The ball coach they have.
But just that home game, man, that game was awesome last year.
Oh, 5-12 game would be great. No doubt about it.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I'm feeling.
But obviously, that 5-4 game is a hell of a lot different this year than it was obviously last year. Now you're going to play a true top 4 team in the country. Neutral site, but in this instant, where's Notre Dame? So they would be playing. Oh yeah, they'd be playing Alabama on a neutral site.
Yeah. I wanted to read you this, Tim, from Brett McMurphy. He says the college football playoff format with 5 auto bids, just Power 4 conference champs in one group of 6, plus rest of field filled with at-large teams, whether it's a 12, 14, or 16 team field, has been proposed, quote, multiple times, end quote, to Big Ten and SEC. Sources said Big Ten and SEC have proposed 4 auto bids for their leagues. And then, so this is the 4-2, or the 4-4-2-2-1-1-1, or whatever they're saying. So SEC gets 4, Big Ten gets 4, ACC gets 2, Big 12 gets 2, and then the group of 6, and then 3 at-large. That I hate. Tim.
No, I feel you. Right?
It's just like, why? It's just like a greed thing. Like, just let the best teams in.
And I
always have a group of 5, group of 6, whatever the hell they are now. They should always be in. You should always have one. The highest ranked conference champ, or what, highest ranked group of 5, whatever. But yeah, I would like this, Tim. Right? It's what it is now.
It's what it is now.
But if you go to 16,
yep,
I think it should be 5 plus 11.
And that's obviously been the buzz in the last 24 hours, because it's, believe it or not, it's coming from the damn coaches at the SEC. And then the ACC coaches have met recently, and they've gone through their ADs. Their ADs in the ACC says, yeah, we pulled our coaches, and they all like the same damn thing. And Lane Kiffin came out and just was like 5-11, man. He's like, this ain't rocket science. Let's just go. It's like, come on, this thing's not, because the coaches don't want to be in a league where that perception you just said, and the national perception is, well, we're just, handing out spots. I said the opposite a couple of weeks ago. I was like, you still got to win the damn games. And in a 16-team field, 4's getting in anyway. All they're doing is guaranteeing. They're not guaranteeing what 4 are getting in. They're just 4 of our teams are going to get in. Still got to play the freaking games. And I kind of liked it because they were going to rearrange championship weekend, remember? So the SEC and Big Ten wanted to, they wanted to do a play-in game. They wanted to play the 3rd team versus the 6 and the 4 versus the 5. And those would be home games for those teams to do play-in games. The 1 and the 2, you've earned it. You played a whole conference season. You're 1, you're 2, you're in. So that, as a fake college football fan, I liked it because it's just some competitive games on a Saturday. Let's go have fun. So and watch more football. Hell, it makes my wife angry. Go shopping, I'm watching football. So it is what it is, right? It's only a couple months a year, for crying out loud. But I understood what the mega conferences wanted to do in that, but at the same time, you're right. It's like, well, you still gotta play the damn games, and that's even with Notre Dame, there's some Notre Dame podcasts that keep talking about, oh, this is so good for Notre Dame. Yeah, if you win. I mean, if you're 9-3,
to win the game.
Yeah, if you're 9-3, you're going to the freaking Pop-Tarts Bowl. So I mean, 9-3 ND's not getting in. So 9-3 Alabama's getting in because they're in the SEC. So they're always going to get those double bonus points. But it's great for anybody if you win. But it's fun. I like the 16. I think it's pretty cool how they're going to do it. It's and if they do, have you heard about how they want to do the bye for the top 1 and 2?
No.
So the top 1 and 2 teams. So last year it would be Georgia and Oregon would get a bye, and then they're going to take 13 versus 16, 14 versus 15, and play those games on Army Navy weekend. Kind of like a play-in to get into the top 12.
Yeah. I just popped this on the screen, Tim. I know you wanted to talk about it. So this would be Lane Kiffin proposed.
Oh yeah, here you go.
At whatever SEC media days, or I don't know what the hell they're doing.
They're all
meetings. Just 16 teams, just the 16 best.
Right here. This is last year.
So this would have been Notre Dame and Arizona State in the 5-12.
And it's the same damn teams. It's all the same teams. There's no magical team jumping into this thing. It's the same guys as last year. Like Miami was ahead of Ole Miss in South Carolina, I believe, correct? 13, here you go, 14, 15, South Carolina. Yeah, so they were ahead in the final poll. I know Bama gets all the, the hype and all that stuff because obviously it's Alabama, and you got Indiana that played 0. They played one team, Ohio State, get their head kicked in, and they make it. So
yeah,
I understood that argument.
And looking about this, and I don't know if this would be the same each year, but that like 14, 15, 16 could often be the most dangerous. That just means you're not that far off from like the 4th or 5th seed. You just lost a couple close games.
you would think.
So you think Oregon, you want to play Clemson, whereas Boise and Indiana and SMU are in the 8, 9, 10. So 8, 9, 10, Indiana, Boise, SMU. Look at the 14, 15, 16. Ole Miss, South Carolina, Clemson. It's like,
well, it's
damn.
It's the once again, you got the top heavy SEC playing those at-large SEC teams that are going to get in, and they're going to get their 4 in. And most years they're going to get 6 in. They just
so what is this? This would be 6. South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Ole Miss, Bama. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 6. Georgia up there. 6. Yeah. So
in the Big Ten, you got your 4, and that's the thing that the SEC is arguing. As I've listened to some of the national guys talk about, that is obviously the depth of their conference, and it's like, and the national guys, I think they've gotten through to the coaches. They're like, why are you guys complaining? You're going to get your teams in. Ross Dellinger's broken this down for the last 10, 12 years, where the SEC is going. The SEC would do a harm if they did just 4. He was like, because you average 6 a year from 2014 to 2024.
But then they could do 7 with the 3 at-larges.
No, I'm saying if they do the 4 autos. So if you're just doing the 4 autos.
It would be 4 plus 3. It could be plus 3.
Yeah, but
right?
You're kind of locking yourself out because you're giving the ACC and the Big Ten an extra team that there's a lot of years they don't get 2 in.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the other thing. I know everyone thinks, and this is what those conferences are thinking, like Notre Dame's not going 11-1 every year. Notre Dame has great years and some down years. And when Notre Dame is 9-3 or 8-4 and battling for the Sun Bowl, they are going to. I mean, that's an open spot for one of these conferences.
Yeah. Let me throw this out there, Tim.
Gotcha.
It is May 28th. Recruiting it's busy right now. I just broke some news. I think I did, at least. Notre Dame's getting a Florida State commit on campus, and it's a ton. There's a lot going on in recruiting. Putting that aside, this is the dog days of summer. If you don't care, if you don't give a shit about recruiting, you're like, if you have the mindset of I care about the kids when they get to campus. Totally fine. I get that. Disagree with that, but I get it. This is a very tough time. If you follow recruiting, it's 365 days a year for you. Like there's always something going on. If you don't, this is a slow period, Sam. But nowadays, dude, there's always drama. If you judge your wife for watching, like my wife's downstairs watching like it's like the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City or something. It's a whole Mormon drama. How much different really is college football than that? You know,
it's a drama. It's a soapbox. That's why there's
really
the SEC media days. The Big Ten coaches are meeting. The ACC coaches meeting. And then guess what happens in July, Mike? They all have their official media days where they all get together and every coach talks for an hour to the press, an hour to ESPN, an hour to Fox, all these things. So you're right. It doesn't end.
On one hand, I'm like, everyone just gets their say now. Every coach can bitch and complain about everything, and we're all hyped up about it. And On3 will tweet the quote, and it goes viral. And it's like, on one hand, it's kind of driving me crazy with like just everyone's complaining about something. Kelly's saying this, Kiffin's saying that. Kelly's out here saying he wants like an SEC Big Ten, like they do in basketball kind of thing, where it's like you have to play one another.
But the Big Ten says we're not doing that unless you play non-conference games. The Big Ten has come out and saying
so
that.
Everyone's got it. So I'm like, can we just shut up and play ball? On the other hand, in our line of business, Tim, we need something to talk about. I'm really not looking forward to doing, the battle for the third defensive tackle spot, or, who's going to be the 8th wide receiver. We can do that in July or August. But right now,
hell, Mike, you're writing about
2028
quarterback. So it's like, come on, it's like,
I love it. Dude, they might get a Miami Northwestern prospect quarterback 2028 on campus next week with all the big time offers. Dude, I don't know. It's fun. I love quarterback recruiting. It's something that like
he's the California guy. I haven't clicked on.
He's at Oaks Christian.
Oh, and Oaks, the Jimmy Clausen clone, huh? Look at that.
Yeah. So
speaking of that, you texted me because you and I have been smack talking. How I need to click on your my Gardena Sarah guy.
So you don't know anything about it?
Well,
when are you gonna return to the message board? The people have been asking.
Oh man, I gotta get on there. That thing.
I know you're reading it.
Well, I haven't read. Yeah, I need to clean some articles. I got to get on there and get a little active. But I've been kidding Mike because he's been talking about Kari Wilder, who's an unbelievable athlete.
Read the tweet, Tim.
It scares me. The Buckeyes just offered, and he's already visiting them. So that's always
read the tweet.
That's never a good thing. But
read it.
This thing is so small. What do we got here? 4-star. Yeah, swapped SC with Notre Dame. So there you go.
If USC's out, you feel a little bit better now?
I told Mike if he commits, I'm doing backflips here into the lake. I'm going to set up my camera and I'll go backflip into the lake for you.
So I think I reported it.
I saw he's got 4 visits. Hold on real quick. Just a quick backtrack. I've been kidding Mike because this is Gardena Sarah. 100%
USC feeder.
100% of these guys are going to SC, UCLA, things, go from there. And Notre Dame, they haven't signed one since 1989, and Eric Simeon, who was all-state outside linebacker, freakazoid at Gardena Sarah. So this would be
Notre Dame hasn't had Marcus Freeman on its staff in a while, or from during that time. Freeman's a little bit different right now.
I can't tell you how many times I've opened up Blue and Gold Illustrated during the May, June recruiting periods. Oh, so-and-so for Gardena Sarah. I'm like, yeah, just cross that guy off here. There you go. It's like many, many times. So this is cool. I'm excited. It's nice when
this kid, Tim, Notre Dame wants him bad. Ohio State, May 30th. UCLA, June 6th. Notre Dame, June 13th. Washington, June 20th.
Okay.
So he bounced USC for Notre Dame. You want to know who retweeted this, Tim?
I like it. Hopefully it's him.
Little 48,000 on this. I love that. Hold on. Wait for it.
Hold on.
Do you see it?
Brady Quinn, look at that.
Brady Quinn I love when I look down at my phone and
Yes,
Brady Quinn retweets something.
Because he's probably shocked. He's like, is that Gardena Sarah? Is that Marquise Lee? Is that Robert
just-
Woods? All those guys?
I'm blessed that I hit his algorithm. It happens every once in a while. I don't know if he knows me from the light post, but we've done it. I think I did a show with him and Goolsby once, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, Brady was on, so yeah. No, you're right. It's end of May here. The visits start in 2 weeks? Or is it next weekend?
I mean, this weekend they have some unofficial visitors, and then the officials start June 13th.
June 13th, yeah, exactly. So you got official visits, camp season. You and I mean, I've already told you, I just want to sit here and watch film with everybody of the quarterbacks. I want to get a 2027.
I want to wait until they offer their first 2 or 3 or 4, or whatever it is, and then go from there.
Exactly. We'll have some fun diving into that. That's
who are we going to watch? Because if we watch 5 guys and then they don't offer any of those 5, and then they offer the 3 others, we're going to look like idiots.
So, no. I feel you. But you're right. It's going to happen soon. They've been meeting with all those kids. It sounded like a couple more are coming back for Irish Invasion. So
yeah,
it's going to be good.
Well, Tim, I opened the show saying how nice it was to see you again. Yeah, I mean, you didn't say you missed me back, but it's okay, Tim. It's okay. I spent an hour thinking about it. So that thing's a beauty. You gonna send that to me?
No. I'm gonna paint it orange. So when I'm coaching him in our seriously, you gotta do a Syracuse Orangeman now. Come on. The fans want it.
I don't think I will. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it. If I do, I'm not gonna stream it on Twitch. I don't want to just talk to the same, like Jay Carr, Mark with Glasses. I love you guys, but it's just the same 2 people in there every time. I might do it on Twitter. I can do it on Twitter.
Okay, there you go.
And you have to be subscribed to Twitter Premium or whatever to comment, which kind of sucks, but I feel like I'll have a much better reach if I just do it on Twitter. Right. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm undecided. I got a baby now, dude. I can't be playing. I'm a grown-ass man playing video games.
Hyde Syracuse. And then you could do, whoever with Notre Dame. There you go. Dynasty mode, or whatever the heck they call this stuff.
Why don't you do it, Tim?
I might. You know what?
The actual Tim Hyde.
I think it's time for me to break it out, and I'll do that. So
yeah, just put the sliders down, play on rookie mode.
I will do under center, nothing but play action, 10-yard dumps. That's gonna be my I'll just nickel and dime.
You're such a troll.
Come on, let's get out of here. I'm gonna go get some food.
All right, folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. If you have not done so yet, subscribe to the Blue and Gold YouTube channel for more content. Our next live show will be Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. With myself and Kyle Kelly covering some Notre Dame recruiting, and we'll have a video with Tyler Horka talking some Notre Dame ball that we'll publish on our channel tomorrow. So make sure you check it all out. Go to blueandgold.com and bluegoldonline.com. Let me pull this up real quick, and then we'll get you out of here, Tim. If you go to bluegoldonline.com, you can purchase the annual Notre Dame football preview. Highly recommend. Tim, do you usually get this bad boy?
Oh God, yeah. I actually just during the season, I found I have them all but 88. I found the 1988 one on eBay, and it was a guy who's watched this. He's watched some of our post game shows over the years. He was like, "Is this Tim Hyde from the?" I was like, "Yes." We were chatting. He's like, "Oh my God, I've watched a bunch of your guys."
Awesome.
Yeah, he gave me a great deal. So I got the 88 one. It is awesome to look back at the old days, comparing. That's how I knew Eric Simeon. I was like, man, I know they have a guy from back in the day. Go back in the old yearbook, find him.
So this offer ends June 6th. You can get free shipping. So that's saving you $6. So, in-depth analysis of each position group, player features, previews of opponents. I've got 2 articles in there. I'm doing a class of 2025 recap. So if you're one of those people who you don't care about recruiting, this recaps the storylines for the 2025 class. And I just did a 30-minute interview with Noah Grubbs, offensive coordinator, and I'm doing a 3-page spread on Noah Grubbs. I decided for each football preview, I'm going to do a story on Notre Dame's, like a 3-page spread on Notre Dame's quarterback commit. So this year it's Grubbs, and I did a really cool interview with him about, Grubbs' journey to where he is now. So definitely check it out, Blue Gold Online.
Well, that's a good thing you didn't do it last year. Then you didn't start that tradition last year.
I did. Oh, I did.
You did one with Deuce Knight?
Mm-hmm.
God, I
Go
don't
pull it
remember.
out. Check the back of the magazine, Tim. I did an awesome story on Deuce Knight, who, of course, ended up decommitting from Notre Dame.
The Singer jinx is starting. Here we go.
Shut up. There was one other thing I wanted to mention, but it's escaping me.
That's all good.
That's all good. So we'll sign off. Folks, hit the thumbs up if you have not done so yet. And as always, we'll catch you next time.